DJ Tan asks an interesting question. To the best of my recollection, only a few Fil-Ams have chose to stay after retirement. It's nice to know that you chose to stay. Why did you?
Well, because I was offered a job right away. I mean, I think that's the most important thing. Well, no, that's not the most important thing. But you built so many relationships, and business-wise, friendship-wise, and also my family's here. I got a lot of family here. To be specific, Cainta. Cubao, up there in Tuguegarao, Cagayan Valley. So there's a lot of family here, and I have a nice support group. And then, of course, my family, my mother, my mother's siblings, even my sister, they fly in, fly out. They come in for the holidays or they come in for a vacation. So it's not like I don't see them. So I've made my home here, and also. If I were to go back to the States, some people would think otherwise, but for me, it just wouldn't make any sense at this stage of my life because I would be starting all over, and that would be very, very tough. Whereas I've been here, we've made names for ourselves. It's easier from a standpoint that you can get your foot in the door. People know who you are. People are willing to work with you, do business with you based on your hard work and your sacrifice. So, aside from the whole personal thing, I think that was also very important as well. And you know what? Philippines is just a cool country to live in. I mean, it's just, I have a lot of fun here too. So,
Did you ever think about moving back to the States?
I thought about it, yeah. But I mean...
how serious were those considerations?
As I got older, I started to realize, and you know what? This is probably going to end up being my home even after basketball. And when the years were starting to dwindle down in my career, I had no thought process of how I'm going to make that transition. It never occurred to me. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm retired. I still love being out here. I don't have the urge to go back to the United States. And then all of a sudden, boom, Coach Judd offered me a job, I think, 2 weeks later. So it's like, yeah, why not? So.
Cool, man. Yeah, that's a tough, road to go down. And I was like you, even though I knew the end was coming, I didn't put that much thought into it. Just because I thought that I would figure it out.
Yeah.
I thought that I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. And then, it gets a little tougher. I had an idea in mind of what I wanted to do, and I'm doing that right now. And like you said, you have opportunities now. Getting your foot in the door, that's great, but you have to have some value once you get your foot in the door. But sometimes getting that foot in the door is big. So I'm doing the same thing probably that you chose to do, trying to just maximize. How can I capitalize on my last 20 years here?
20 years, yeah.
So just like anybody else, just like my friends in the States, they've worked 20 years. Well, they have connections. They try to take advantage of those connections to possibly get a better job, maybe doing something else, maybe in another field. That's the same thing that we're doing.
And then, redefining yourself. Redefining yourself completely, changing your mindset. I think that was something that I had to deal with for about a year. So, all those adjustments that need to take place. But at the end of the day, it was really about just...
How many years now have you been retired?
Almost 4.
Almost 4.
Almost 4 years, yeah. And it went by fast, too.
Yeah, I just got done with my first year, like earlier this week, I think it was.
Yeah. And, Tony De La Cruz and Don Hontiveros, and I just found out that Enrico Villanueva decided to hang him up. So, it's some guys from our generation that... You
got any advice for me?
For you?
Yeah.
I think you're doing a great job. Hey, it's just... And, Tony shadowed me at TV for Signal PBA Rush. I think it was last Wednesday.
Okay.
He wanted to see, he was in the production room, and then after that, he watched us do our pregame, and then he watched some of the first half or I think the first game. But
it'll be an interesting addition to the team if they I don't know what TV5 decides to do, but that's fun. He's has experience speaking. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, he's that road's tough, man. It's a mountain to climb, and you gotta, like you said, like you mentioned, adjust your mindset. And
you gotta quote unquote wait in line just like everybody else now, you know, and that's hard for guys like us because we were always put to the front of the line because of what we did for a living. But that's part of the adjustment period, and then of course, you know, you gotta sort of minimize your lifestyle, right? You can't throw out a lot of money like you used to because that big paycheck's not coming in like it used to, and so you know, yeah, it's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Okay. Well, thank you for your insight. Thank you for the question, James.